like love, 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 and music. La la la, love, 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 love.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jay Lee. This is Jay Lee's Corner, and as y'all can see from the title, this goddamn Queen's Court, Khia, TS Madison, and not Nicki Minaj bullshit. I think this is gonna be like my last video even talking about this, because I'm really hoping, one, TS Madison don't do her own reply to Khia, and I also hope when Khia do her little gag order next Monday, she don't bring up this bullshit either. At this point, everything is a little bit repetitive. I feel like I don't think Khia needed to go on her IG live to do this whole thing, but she did. And what I do is I report on what happens. I give my commentary and my motherfucking opinion. So let me put this out there right now. All of you Khia fans who like to call me biased and she on TS Madison's side, bitch, it's my goddamn opinion. And if my side is TS Madison's side and your side is Khia's side, well, bitch, stick to your side and let me have my goddamn opinion. I ain't got time for the bullshit. The minute you call me fat black bitches, you just getting blocked. I don't give a fuck. I don't give one single fuck. Okay? Wanted to get that out the way. So, you know, yeah, y'all saw, well, hopefully some of y'all saw, Khia was on her IG live, her gag order yesterday. And I saw it last night. I was going to do my commentary about it last night, but I was like, I don't care, because I feel like Khia is upset that TS Madison patented, copyright, trademark Queen's Court. And so for that reason, now she's going at her. And the reason I feel like Khia wrong is because y'all was doing that show for however long, and hey sis, and then y'all was cool, good, and everything was cool, but now you dragging the bitch for filth. And I ain't for anybody who say we was cool then, but now that we have some kind of disagreement, now she's all kind of mans and she's a bitch with a dick. I mean, we know that she got a dick and she was born a man. We know she's trans. But my thing is, I feel like the way Khia going at T.S. Madison is fucking unfair. We get you feel like she was wrong. You have every reason to feel that way. But I feel like when T.S. Madison gave her side of things, she wasn't going at Khia personally. You know what I'm saying? She wasn't attacking Khia. She was more defending herself. And when Khia is talking, it's just, to me, it's rude, it's unnecessary. It was like a 30-minute loud rant about things. You know, she was ranting about T.S. Madison, you know, calling her a man, calling her Maddie, you know, calling her Mandy. And I'm like, you know, a little play on her, you know, because she's born a man. Seeing how you can't be mad that I walked out of something I owned and something I created. And my thing is, I feel like if you created it and you protected it the right way, you wouldn't be in the situation. I think she's upset because Madison took the legal business route to do things and she wasn't with it. You know what I'm saying? But I still feel like if she'd been doing this, I've been doing the Queen's Court for 10 years or all these years, bitch, how come you ain't trademarked and copyrighted not a goddamn thing? The reason Maddie was able to do it was because you didn't do what you was supposed to do. You should have been got that copyright. You should have been got a trademark. Even once you and her first started doing it, how do you not have anyone in your camp, Khia, who would have told you, bitch, this is gonna be, you know what I'm saying, this is gonna be something before you go partner with old girl, because this is your baby, this is your idea, this is your creation. You should do A, B, and C first. Because if you haven't trademarked something that you've been doing for the past 10 years, you stupid. You not business smart, and it's the reason why you still where you at. You know what I'm saying? And so the whole little rant thing, you know, saying, you know, stop making videos, trying to explain yourself, just learn your place, and, you know, saying how Nicki Minaj really contacted her first, that she didn't contact T.S. Madison first. And my thing is saying, learn your spot. Bitch, y'all was both on the same platform. Y'all was both on IG or on YouTube doing these goddamn videos as a joint venture. Y'all were partners in that aspect. And I feel a certain kind of way that she's going at T.S. Madison as if she was nobody. You know what I'm saying? She was somebody enough for you to do the show with her for that time, and you both gained attention together. As I told y'all before, I did not watch the Queen's Court, and I don't have to watch the Queen's Court to comment on the goddamn fuckery of the fallout from it. But from what I know, and from what I saw from the videos that they had before, they were getting tons and thousands of views. You know, viewers and fans love them both for different reasons. So my thing is, as a businesswoman, Khia, how the fuck can you work that shit out behind closed doors? And if you couldn't work it out behind closed doors, you don't have to spray Madison as if she's the man, or the whole way kind of attacking her as a transgender. I don't agree with that. I feel like, you know, when she says stuff like, you know, they said I don't like transgenders. Well, bitch, you keep calling her a man, or you keep calling her Mandy. You keep, you know, using words and phrases and wording things in a way to be derogatory to her because she's transgender. Now, I remember seeing TS, the first time I saw TS Madison was years ago on, you know, Candy Coated Nights, and she was on there talking about her porn stuff, and she was, you know, as, you know, she was, back then she was going by the whole, you know, because she had a website called bigdickbitch.com. And when I saw it, because I had never seen that, you know what I'm saying, I ain't, everybody watch whatever they watch, but I had never seen a transgender person who was a man as a woman with a dick. I had never seen that in real life. You know, not, but you know, whatever. So that's how I got first introduced to her. And that was, of course, years ago. Honestly, I didn't even realize when they was talking about the Queen's Court and Khia and T.S. Madison, I didn't even put fucking 2 and 2 together to know that T.S. Madison was the bitch from the bigdickbitch.com from years ago. So my thing is, we all know that T.S. is transgender. And I feel like a lot of transgender people don't go through sexual reassignment surgery because, one, it's so goddamn expensive, and two, sometimes the shit don't work out. So my thing is that she identifies as transgender, and she is currently a male living as a female. We should respect that the same way we respect Khia as wanting to be just the bitch who she is, living where she living in that goddamn house that she living in on her goddamn red couch. So my thing is, you have to respect where people are in their lives. And again, because they was cool on the set every week, everything was good until the whole Monique shit. You know, she even brought up how, yeah, you know, when Nicki Minaj kept contacting me because I roasted Remy when they had the whole the battle stuff, and Remy was Nicki was hitting me up trying to, you know, befriend me, message me, follow me on all social media, and I don't fuck with the bitch, so I wasn't trying to hit back or whatever. And so because I wasn't hitting back, she then went and hit up T.S. Madison, and T.S. Madison being, you know, she's a groupie and she wanted to all be in, and she just wants to be famous. So T.S. is the reason me and Nicki even had a conversation, and she said how Nicki Minaj did want them to do a show, how Nicki wanted to present the show and be like, Nicki Minaj presents the Queen Court and all that shit. But I feel like the shit that Khia was saying really wasn't anything different than what T.S. Madison was saying. You know what I'm saying? She was talking as that bitch. She didn't want you. She wanted both of y'all. Let's be clear about that, because if she did not want both of y'all, she would have approached Khia when it was just Khia. If anyone wanted to produce Khia's show, they could have done that when it was just her. There's a reason people gravitated to it more when it was both of them, because it was an ensemble cast, and they do play great off of each other, and they do have their own separate fan bases. So when y'all, you went behind my back and got a license, and you went behind my back and got a patent, you know, you size 16, wearing, you know, all this stuff that she kept on saying. And, you know, I just felt like Khia took it further than what it had to go. You know what I'm saying? When she did the whole first video, Madison did the response, I felt like they could have left it at that, because all Madison was saying was, I didn't steal shit from you. You knew I went and got this stuff. Like, you knew that up front, and you just got mad about it. But I feel like when you are partnering with someone, you should want it to be some kind of teamwork. You know what I'm saying? You should want that. But her whole thing was just kind of, to me, it looked sad and it looked pathetic, and it looked like I want to see what else Khia is going to talk about next Monday. You know what I'm saying? Like, is she gonna continue to bring this stuff up? That's what I'm saying. I'm hoping TS don't reply back. I'm hoping Nicki Minaj don't say shit. I'm hoping anybody that she brought up just don't say shit about it, so that everyone can move on from it, and that she can move on with whatever kind of content. Like us bloggers who, you know, do commentary on, you know, pop culture, on TV shows, on breaking news. We talk about what's in the news. You know what I'm saying? So this is what's going on right now. So this is what we're talking about. But I feel like when you have your own show, and that's the thing, Khia stuff is the gag order. I get that. My thing is, your gag can't be TS Madison and Nicki Minaj every week, because it was this same shit last time. So my thing is, it shouldn't be. You did it once. You did it twice, but you can't do it a third time. If you do, because at that point you making it seem as if you don't have shit else to talk about except the same people in the same situations. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, eventually that's gonna get boring. But Khia gonna have her go hard fans who like, oh my god, I had so many people on my comment section. You fucking biased. You always on TS Madison's side, or you so fucking biased. You on so and so side. People need to understand that bias is not the same thing as me having a fucking opinion. I am not a journalist, okay? My job is not to report what point A said and point B said and not give my own goddamn opinion. What I do as a blogger and a vlogger on here is, when something happened, I pick my goddamn side. I pick who I think is right or wrong in my fucking opinion, and I give that. It does not mean I'm biased if I don't agree with Khia's side. And I don't. I think she is a talented girl. Her neck, her back, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I just want her to move the fuck on. You know, she goes on to say how what did she say? Oh, her and Nicki. She kind of make it seem as if Nicki was sucking her dick. Like, Nicki was just all on her asshole trying to say, you know, I love you. You so great. You so funny. But I'm like, but she did that once y'all were together. She didn't do that when it was just you. Because for the past 10 years, you've been doing shit, and it ain't been really popping like that. And sometimes it do take something. Like for me, my channel was good. You know what I'm saying? I was doing okay. Not saying I was the best one, but again, I'm still new. I only been doing YouTube. I've been on YouTube for less than a year. Khia been doing YouTube for 10 years. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is, if you've been doing it for 10 years and it wasn't until you got a partner that someone noticed and wanted to put your stuff onto a bigger platform, it's a reason for that. You know what I'm saying? It meant that you needed just a little something extra for people to see the potential in the Queen's Court, and then they saw that. And in a way, Khia fucking sabotaged that shit, because when her and TS first got into it and had a disagreement, I felt like if they both would have just not said shit and talked it out, Queen's Court could have came back. Ain't no coming back for that shit now. TS Madison would be a fucking fool to do business with Khia. Khia kept on saying, like, if we can talk and come to an agreement, you know, and get some stuff with some 50-50 stuff, bitch, I would not want to work with you if you was the last goddamn man on earth, simply because look how you acted the minute you were upset. Bitch, you try to drag me on your social media and call me all kind of man whores and all that bullshit. T.S. Madison should do her own thing. Khia should do her own thing, and leave it at that. You know, and even saying how, when she said how Nicki was going to try to offer them to be talent and not be like producers or not be partners. And she was saying how she didn't want that, because it's her baby. But I feel like you didn't have a trademark. You didn't have any legal claim to this idea. It was just something that you were doing. And what happens is when you do stuff like that, you leave it open for someone to snatch it up. And to my understanding, that was the reason why T.S. Madison got the shit in the first place, so that no one else could take it, because y'all was getting more and more fucking popular. And if that's the case, buy it from her. And not only that, when you apply for a trademark, the shit isn't instant. You can't apply for a trademark on Tuesday and you get it a week later. That ain't how it go. It takes them like 3 months to assign an attorney to look over your trademark request. You know what I'm saying? So she requested that shit. Let's say she requested it in December. She might just not be even getting to a point to where it couldn't have been December, because it was after that when they was doing different stuff. But whatever. It take a couple months to get it done. So my thing is, it might not even be fully trademarked to TS Madison. Now, do I feel like TS Madison should have included Khia's name on it? Absolutely. When you do the application, there is room to do that. You don't have to put it in one person's name. They could have also came up with their own corporation. But I feel like the reason they did is because, as Khia keeps saying, she don't like fucking with people, and she's on her own. So I think it could have been a thing of, well, she not trying to make me and her a corporation. So we doing the Queen's Court, let me go and get a trademark so that no one else can get it, and then me and her can work it out at the end of the day. And I guess they worked the shit out, and it became a big ass conglomerate mess of bullshit. And when she was saying, like, if Nicki Minaj wanted to do, she presents this, I'm not gonna be on as talent, you're not gonna pay me $15,000 per episode. I want to either get 50% or 80% of the ownership of it. But I'm like, bitch, how can you claim ownership over something that you yourself have not took the time to protect? You have to protect your brand. You have to protect what you create. And when you don't, this is what happens. Chaos and utter bullshit. So even when she said she don't want to get paid $15,000 per show during the Queen's Court because she can make that amount each time she book a show to do my neck and my back. Well, bitch, you're not making no less. What's the difference? And truth be told, you might not make $15,000. You might not make $15,000 doing it on YouTube per video. You might not. I mean, it do depend on things. You know what I'm saying? It can depend on the views. It can depend on how many ain't of his ass on there. It can depend on if you got sponsorships, all this other stuff. So my thing is, I just don't feel like she took the time to figure out, well, if I'm being paid $15,000 per episode and I haven't branded it yet, if I go brand it and it's mine, let's do the deal once I have the legal rights to it, and then we can negotiate me getting a percentage of the ownership of it, and me getting the producer's credit, me getting all these other. She ain't want to do that, and I think it's because Khia ass ain't business savvy. Khia is still hood and she's still hustling, and my thing is, after 10 years on YouTube, you shouldn't be hustling about it anymore. It should be a fucking business. Period. If you own social media for 10 years and you haven't put it as a business, bitch, and you still hustling, you hustling backwards. And that go for TS Madison, that go for Khia, that go for anybody else who owns this YouTube site or own whatever thing for social media for 10 years with a concept that works, and you haven't secured a goddamn bag for it. Bitch, secure your bag, bitch. That's what I'm doing. That's what I did. You know what I'm saying? And I've only been on her a year because you have to be business minded. And in a lot of aspects, Khia isn't business minded. She has the idea of, if I come up with it, I own it. But legally, that ain't how it goes sometimes. Legally, you have to get shit and paperwork just so that if a fuck they do try to come in. If Khia would have already trademarked, copywritten, patented the Queen's Court, she could have shut T.S. Madison ass down quick. You know what I'm saying? But she ain't do that. The reason she got fucked in the end is because she didn't protect herself. And at the end of the day, Khia needs to start protecting herself and just being more smart. You can't keep saying, well, I ain't fucking with nobody because I can make $15,000 off doing my one show. If you get into a car accident tomorrow, bitch, and your whole goddamn job falls off, and you can't rap not none other time, and you can't, do not none other gag order, what do you have? Nothing. But if you own your brand, you can have someone else make money for you, bitch. You don't ever want to have all your bread and butter be based on, I can keep doing shows. You might not be able to do shows forever, and you want to just stack your paper, boo-boo. And my thing is, I ain't saying it's to bash Khia. I'm saying it because she should be a business fucking woman. And even T.S. Madison, you should have talked to her thoroughly before you went and trademarked it. Because if she didn't like it, y'all should have came to some kind of agreement. Well, okay, if we trademark it, let's put it in both our names. Okay, if we trademark it and you pay it all up front, and it's initially in your name, after it gets approved, we're going to put both our names in it, and let's get that in writing. And there were ways to get around this shit where it didn't have to be this big-ass blow-up situation, and everybody like, what the fuck going on? And that's just, what I'm saying. And what else did she say? Even her bringing up how, you know, they tried to censor me, and the whole time when I was on there before, you know, I was cussing and fussing, saying fag and bitch and hoe and suck this and fuck that or whatever. I was being rude, cruel, and crass, and there wasn't any issue. But now all of a sudden that, you know, Nicki Minaj want to get involved and want to be on TV or whatever, I can't say what I want to say. You goddamn right. You want to know why? Bitches called sponsors. You know, eventually, when you're getting paid by sponsors, they don't like certain kind of material, and it do limit you sometimes. Y'all see with me, sometimes I cuss a lot, sometimes I don't cuss at all. I try not to be too foul-mouthed, because if you are too foul-mouthed, if a sponsor see my video, they can like, well, damn, she cussing every 2 and 3 words. We can't put that anywhere. We can't advertise that. We can't, you know what I'm saying? So you have to be smart about it. You have to be able to entertain people and keep people's attention without being extremely offensive and using extreme language and being extremely vulgar in certain aspects. And then again, it can depend on what platform you trying to do it on. Most TV, unless it's like HBO or Showtime or some, you know, premium cable channel, you can't use all them words, and they definitely don't want you using any offensive, derogatory words or names for people. Faggot, you know, homo, you know, anything against trans, anything about just those words. You can't do that. So I felt like, Khia, I'm gonna end this right here. You need to sit your ass down, go and file your own trademark for the Queen's Court. You can fight Maddie's thing for it, because you can show claims to how you've been using it for longer than her, and then it can be a thing of where you can get it. Once you have a trademark, do whatever you're gonna do. But as we see, the reason she ain't even trying to do that's why she came up with gag order and no longer the Queen's Court, because she don't have the rights to it just yet. All I know is messy as fuck. All I know is I want her to move the fuck on. And all I know is I don't want TS Madison to do no reply. And I just feel like Nicki Minaj is sitting up somewhere like, well, how the fuck did I get dragged into all of this? Simply because I said I liked the show. And also, she probably like, and that was last year, bitch. It was a whole year. I don't have time for this bullshit. It's just fucking messy. It was messy. She was loud. You know, girl, whatever. So that was my commentary on it. That's how I felt about it. If y'all bitches think I'm biased, I don't give 0 fucks. And we'll be back for later on for some other stuff, because I'm reviewing the Tupac and Biggie thing that's coming on today. We have what else comes on today? That might be all that I'm reviewing today. I can't think what else. Oh, and then I think like If Loving You Was Wrong. So other than that, people, I am Jay Lee. This is Jay Lee's Corner. Peace.